We say hello and good to have him back again. It's George Houston. George, hello to you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. The last time we spoke, we were just saying off air, was once again the Beefsteak Dancers were down at it, and you were at Oakfest.
Yeah, that was a good day.
It was a great weekend, and you enjoyed it. Was that your first time?
Jokefest, yeah,
To perform it?
I loved it, to be honest.
And it's festivals are a different crowd to an audience crowd, or to like a bar or somewhere like that.
Whole other kettle of fish, I suppose.
You play. You can play at a festival. You can play your own stuff. You know, and saying that, your stuff's got very, very popular this last while, and I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you very well.
Done. So you have a new album coming out.
It's already out.
It's out. Sorry, beg
yeah,
your
it's
pardon.
out a week. It's the album launch that's next week. Sorry,
Okay,
I probably mixed up the dates.
that's
Telling
what
you.
it is.
It's
It's in Sandino's in Derry on the
Yeah.
29th.
yeah,
That's
big Halloween party kind of idea.
oh yes.
Get everyone in fancy dress, hopefully.
Well, tell me this, George. Will you be playing? Will you be playing the entire album that night, or what? How many songs have you on the album?
There's 9 songs in the album. A couple of the songs are going to be left out just because I want to sing some of the songs from the other albums.
Yes.
Just because
How many albums have you released now? To now,
As-
that's your third.
3 now.
Wow.
So I think some people would be disappointed if I didn't sing some of the older songs. So
Well, that's a good sign, isn't it? That people
yeah.
know your stuff. Do you find that now, George, when you're out and about, people know your own music?
yeah, it's sometimes when you're with a band, you obviously have to practice, and I feel disappointed. Sometimes people shout songs and we've not practiced them yet, and I'm like,
no.
we've
Right.
not even rehearsed that one yet.
I
So
know.
it's mad.
What's the title of the album?
It's called Vehicular Suicide.
Look at this. It's only coming to my head now.
Yeah, aye.
And that's a brilliant track.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. I've heard. See, I have to apologise because my memory's awful at the moment.
You're okay.
I forget things like that.
Bit of a mad one.
But it's no, I like that because I'll tell you why I like it. It's because it's different. It's totally different,
Aye.
and it draws you to hear. I have to hear what this is about.
Yeah.
What's the theme running through the album? Is there a particular theme?
They're all really recent songs. I've kind of been using it as a bit of therapy, and they've all been a little morbid. And I think I've moved into kind of the spookier side of things, and I've just been playing into the whole idea of like horror films and using horror film references throughout the album. So I suppose the darkness and horror and Halloween would be the theme throughout.
So, your previous albums, are you sort of saying they were about based on your emotions at the time, or where you were at the time? Is that what you're saying?
The previous ones, they've been kind of. I read a lot of songs and they build up over time. And the last 2 have been ones from the last 5 years. But this album, nearly all of it's been written in the last year, so it just feels a lot more relevant to me. Obviously, if you're coming in and hearing it firsthand,
Right.
you wouldn't know when it's from. But
Aye.
it's been very rewarding to just be writing it this year and recording it this year. And
Did you find the writing process quicker this time for you?
yeah,
Aye.
very much so. Out of nowhere, kind of bits and pieces. Just
All on the one theme, that same theme. Does your album, does your music, do you develop a theme and then
not
record?
intentionally.
No.
I suppose it just kind of wrote itself a wee bit.
That's all right. No,
just-
what? Well, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to hear a couple of tracks from you. This first one you're going to do first is,
It's a track called "Bleed Me Dry."
and this is on the new album.
Yeah,
Where did you record the album?
I recorded it with Ori McBurty and Tommy Conway at Full Tilt
very
over
good.
here,
Excellent.
and then with Ori at his house. He has a wee studio at his own house.
Brilliant. Well, listen, we're ready to hear it when you're ready to play it.
Perfect. Sounds good. I had a vision of your eyes staring at me through your brows. Do you hold me, dear, or do you hold on to the rouse? It's not for the parting, that's not the part I'm thinking of. Just wish you didn't hate me, love.
had a vision of you, you envisioned all my flaws. I'd lay out my hand, you'd brush it aside, because it is for the parting, that is the part you're thinking of. Just wish you didn't hate me, love. If you're gonna bleed me dry. I don't wanna survive. If you're gonna leave me high and dry, hang me out on the line. I won't be missing you, I will not be missing us. I'll be missing the man that I once thought I was. It is for the parting, that is the part you're thinking of. Just wish you didn't hate me, love. If you're gonna bleed me dry. I don't wanna survive. If you're gonna leave me high and dry, hang me out on the line to dry. I don't want to survive. Bleed me dry. I don't want to survive. If you're gonna bleed me dry. I don't want to survive. If you're gonna leave me high and dry, hang me out on the line. If you're gonna bleed me dry. I don't wanna survive. If you're gonna leave me high and dry, hang me out on the line to dry. I don't want to survive. Leave me dry. I don't want to survive.
Brilliant, George.
Thank
as
you.
always, brilliant. That's the track taken from George's new album, which has been launched in Sandinos at the 29th of this month, which is only this weekend,
This Sunday.
this Sunday, and Sandinos. And the album's called Vehicular Suicide. I'm saying that right, and you're big into the YouTube videos and all. You're
Aye.
aye.
Yeah, they're doing very well.
Aye. Yeah,
Class.
there's a lot of work on that. Or do you see the fun side of that?
Oh God, yeah. I think I'm very lucky with the videographer I'm working with. He's called Niall Murphy, and yeah, I think maybe a lot of videographers, if I was describing the music videos I wanted to do, they go what? But he just rolls with it, and we go
Do
go
you
on
have
the day and do it.
do you have your ideas what you want in a video?
Yeah,
for the song?
aye,
But it has to be the weird and wonderful.
aye.
It just can't be the normal run of the mill.
Stranger the better.
Aye, I think so. I think that works better with the style of the album. Yeah.
Aye.
How many artists did you work with in the recording process? Did you?
I was very lucky. Really, really talented. I had drummer Steamy McKay. He works in bands like Foreign Oil and Tramp, and he works with a new band called Skull. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but really great drummer from Burt as well. Malcolm Boyd, he says he's listening in, and I said I'd say hello.
Malcolm
is my
Very
bassist as well, and I was very lucky to have him. Ori McBurty as well played
Yes.
guitar on the album.
Excellent.
My brother, we were saying before the show, Jack Houston, played strings throughout the album.
Oh,
So
very good.
nice mix of
Nice to have the family involved.
collaboration. Yeah,
It's cheaper, only, isn't it?
yeah.
But let's say the album launch, it's in Sandino's, and you have special guests on the night, and it's Polar Bolero,
Yes.
and they are.
They're a Derry band. I think they're a Derry band. That's how I know them. It's through the Derry scene, and they've been nominated for one of the best acts in Northern Ireland. Like, they're really talented instrumentalists, and there's a whole wreck of them. I don't know if it's 6 or 7 different instrumentalists in the band. They're all crammed in on the stage, but it's
Excellent. It's going to be good. And Tessio.
Tessio's another Derry. They're a folk duo, folk rock kind of. They supported for Hothouse Flowers, and they're doing very well. And they have a single out this Friday as well. So I thought
There you go.
that'll
Why
be
not?
perfect. Could you come along to the album launch,
course.
and we'll hear your
See-
new single.
Exactly. There's some talent down around Derry in that area, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
And the new band scene's brilliant. It actually is, and it's encouraging. It's great to see, and long may it continue. And you're going then for a different style. You're going for a very well-known poet, Frank Rafferty,
yeah.
who I've heard on the radio many a time.
Aye.
He's great.
I love Frank. Yeah, I've seen him telling his stories and his poems, and I just thought,
Aye.
oh, what a great Halloween spooky night to have this deep
That's
Scottish voice telling some scary stories
He
and
is,
funny
he is,
poems
he
and things like
is.
that.
His voice adds to the whole
Well, yeah,
the whole
atmospheric.
atmospheric.
Even,
Is exactly right, because I hear myself listening to his poetry sometimes, and now I'm not by no means an expert in poetry, but some poetry stops me in my tracks, and he's one of them, because it says it's one thing reading the poem and writing the poem,
Aye.
but if you can deliver it
Yeah.
the way he delivers it, well, that's just magic. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a cracking night.
Aye,
It really,
I'm
really
looking
is.
forward to it.
Tickets, where can people get tickets?
Tickets are available on Eventry. You can get that through the link on my Facebook or Instagram. You can also buy them on the door, but probably better to buy them online, just because it's limited enough capacity.
Good idea. So plans going forward, George, into the new year? Anything lined up you can tell us, or anything you can tell us off air?
Maybe a video or two, few
Okay.
wee songs maybe.
Right. Are you steady writing? Still writing?
I've got a guitar recently. This is the only guitar I had for years and years, but I went into the electric world, and it's kind of inspired me to write a couple of electric guitar songs. So it's
So the sound has inspired you.
yeah, different feel.
I'm always curious what inspires people, and a different
Triggers
guitar,
something maybe.
different sound. Excellent, brilliant. That. What's your sort of? I probably asked you this question before. But what's your favorite sort of style of music? Who's your artist now that you kind of?
I think artists who would consider themselves storytellers, and they don't care what the genre is as long as it fits the story. Like David Bowie or Kate Bush, they're quite eclectic with the genres they use. So if they're angry, they'll go for rocky sounds. If it's sad, they'll go for softer. And they kind of put the genre to the side. And I like that way of making music. It's genre's not the priority, the story is.
Yeah, as a Leonard Cohen feature in your.
Oh yeah. I love his. Was one of the best lyricists in my
You
opinion.
know, I remember getting tickets to go and see him one time. I said, I'm not going to that rubbish, right? And that's sort of God. And it's one of them things I should have, because it just didn't click with me at all, right? And then he passed away, and it must have been just, I heard a couple of his tunes,
Aye.
and then I followed him, and my God, it just landed me then, which I like.
Yeah.
I like artists landing me.
They grow on you like.
And they grow on you, and then when you start looking at his back catalogue, and you go, "Gee, amazing." But anyway, we would love you to squeeze in another song if you don't mind.
No bother.
And this, where will the album be available after the launch? Are you online with it, or?
It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. I'm currently printing some CDs. Hopefully, they'll be there for the launch.
Please God.
So yeah, just wherever and anywhere.
Excellent. Well, as always, it's great to have you up.
Thank you.
We've followed you since day one, and we're always enjoyed your company. I enjoy there's a uniqueness in your tones and your voice and your delivery. So
Thank you very much.
That's what I like in artists. If I heard your music, I would say that's George Houston. That's the way. So that's
you
probably
very much.
that's a nice way to be for an artist.
That's a class. Thank you.
This song now, George, you're going to do first. Is,
It's a song inspired by the film Death Becomes Her about living forever. It's called In Aeternum Vive. Whenever
I love these titles. Right? Class,
Yeah,
class. Do you know what they
wacky.
do? They intrigue you to go, I have to hear this song. Do you know what I
Alright.
mean? So, masterstroke. Well, whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
We're creatures of the spring, you and I. In aeternum vive. Is it a crime that I don't wanna die? In aeternum vive. I bet life so pleasant, kicking back in your antidepressants. Just wish they didn't change the way you feel about me. Wishful thinking, that's my thing. You've been drinking all of my gin. I really don't mind, I really don't care, as long as you're there. As long as you're there. As long as you're there. You're becoming your mother, I heard. In aeternum vive. Since she died, we don't talk about her. In aeternum vive. I bet life's so pleasant, kicking back in your antidepressants. Just wish they didn't change the way you feel about me. Wishful thinking, that's my thing. You've been drinking all of my gin. I really don't mind, I really don't care, as long as you're there. As long as you're there. As long as you're there. In aeternum vive. In aeternum vive. Hey, I bet life's so pleasant, kicking back in your antidepressants. Just wish they didn't change the way you feel about me. Wishful thinking, that's my thing. You've been drinking all of my gin. I really don't mind, I really don't care, as long as you're there. As long as you're there. As long as you're there. As long as you're there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully, Declan Reynolds gives a message. Declan, thanks for your comments, by the way, enjoying the show tonight. See, this is what I call, this is the way your music strikes me here. Someone texted and it says, George sounds like Leonard Cohen. He tells a story and you can hear every word.
Thank you.
That's a nice compliment. That's
That's
nice compliment.
a hell of a compliment.
And
Thank
who
you.
we say, Bernie Doherty. George is such a fantastic talent. He is, Bernie. He's absolutely amazing. And we wish you well. The album launch is in Sandino's in Derry, and it's Sunday week.
Sunday this week.
This Sunday, I beg your pardon, this coming Sunday, and kicks off at 8 p.m. The album's called Vehicular Suicide. Am I saying that right?
Vehicular suicide.
Vehicular. Oh, that's too much
Close
for me.
enough. Like.
Aye, but go along and support local music, and George will have a full backup, full band and everything on there. Polar Bolero and Tessio and Frank Rafferty will be there. And thanks indeed. Right, George.
Thank you.
Pleasure's been ours. Thank you very much, George
Thank you so
Houston.
much.
Thank you.
Hi, Teresa Mannion here with the road safety alert for bad weather. If a road is flooded, do not drive through it. Take another route, as water can always be deep.